I believe we have Senator Mike Lee with us, Republican from Utah. Is that correct, sir? Senator
Yes.
Lee? Yes, sir.
Good to be with you.
There's some disappointment in this New York studio that we've not had the president pounding the table and give me a tax cut now, first job, first priority. Do you share that disappointment, sir?
I certainly would like to see tax reform sooner rather than later, as soon as possible. This is something the American people need, and I'd like to see it get done as soon as possible. I hadn't heard the news until just hearing it now on the program. Interesting story to follow. But I share your enthusiasm for it.
I'm glad to hear that, sir. It's a very mixed story. It's a confused story. What seems to be emerging is that various parts of the Republican Party and Congress generally cannot agree on the basics of what should go into that tax reform package. That's the problem. It's Congress that's the problem, not so much President Trump. What do you say?
Oh, that's not a surprise to me at all. I mean, look, it's one of the reasons why I would love to see us just move it forward, get something on the floor, get some kind of a proposal on the floor of the House and on the floor of the Senate, and let us start debating it. There's no need necessarily to wait until you have everybody agreeing before it even hits the floor. Get it on the floor, let people propose amendments, and maybe we could get it done sooner that way.
Is that how you would do it? So you just put a basic proposal, cut this, cut that, let's discuss. That's how it could be done?
That's very much how I would like to see it done. Now, that is the perspective of one who doesn't manage the floor of the Senate or of the House. But as a rank-and-file member like me, I'd very much like to see things move to the floor more quickly and then leave the details to the amendment process, allowing each individual member to offer up amendments that he or she deems necessary and most helpful to the constituencies each member represents.
Do you think Republican leadership has been strong enough, hard enough, aggressive enough in pushing the president's policies?
Well, I think so. We're 2 weeks into this administration. I think it's been pretty aggressive so far, but we're going to need to continue that, and we're going to need to build on it. It's going to have to get even more aggressive, I think, because there's a lot to get done. And I do think the American people expect and deserve to have action as quickly as possible by Congress in moving an agenda forward. I'd like to see that.
Do you agree with the president that if push comes to shove and you want to get Neil Gorsuch approved as a justice of the Supreme Court, use the nuclear option? You with that, sir?
Well, let me put it this way. We're going to get Judge Gorsuch confirmed. Of that, I am certain. It's not yet clear whether or to what extent we're going to need to even get there. But we might not need the nuclear option at all, even if we get to the point where some are suggesting we need it. There are other options we can deploy. There's Rule 19, the so-called two-speech rule, that could allow us to exhaust the right of the Democrats to filibuster. And we could get to the point where we could confirm him with 51 votes without going nuclear. We've got a lot of options on the table, and I don't think we should take any of them off.
Fascinating. Senator Mike Lee, it's a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.